Yo, so what is going on, guys? It is your boy MLG Squid here, and welcome to another Black Ops 4 Zombies video. And this is one that I've been really excited to make. I've been working on it for about a week or so now, getting gameplay and all that, preparing it. This is all special weapons ranked from worst to best in BO4 Zombies. Now, I even had someone commented on my video, yes, there's not really a definitive ranking to this, obviously, because it's the way that you play the game. It determines how you rank these weapons. Like, there's not like a best necessarily. I think there is, but yeah, there's definitely some that are worse than others, and that is, of course, why they're going to be on the lower points of the list here. So there are 8 special weapons. We're, of course, going to be going from the worst to the best. Without further ado, this is my list, so leave your list in the comments. I don't expect you to agree with this, because it's my opinion. Without further ado, let's get right into the list, guys. Starting off my list here at the number 8 spot, the worst special weapon in Black Ops 4 Zombies, in my opinion, this is the Scepter of Rah. I think objectively, this is for sure the worst special weapon. I think everyone has to agree with that, especially if you play solo. If you play co-op, you probably like this weapon. But this is by far the worst special weapon in the Chaos story and in the game, in my opinion. So basically, the reason why this is so bad, guys, is because the normal attack on this weapon, like, that you have the entire time, the main attack, as you see, you basically just shoot out this laser beam, which is deadly accurate, I will give it that, and it also has this melee attack where I think it one-hits normal zombies forever, and that's kind of cool and all. I think the melee attack actually is more effective than the normal laser, because the laser does such low damage, man. It can barely kill a horde. Like here on round 20 right here, it can barely kill a horde. Now that's actually called the Ray of Life, I think, and that basically allows you to kill zombies, of course, with it, kill pretty much all the zombies in the game, all the zombie types, and also when you shoot a downed teammate with that laser, it revives them instantly. I don't know what the level 2 ability does, which is called Vigor. That's the one that you just saw. I only had one clip of showing the level 2 ability, but here's the level 3 ability, which is called Shining Beacon. Basically, it allows you to place to plant the scepter into the ground and create this defensive defensive circle around you, which damages zombies, slows zombies, basically makes it so you can't die while you're in that circle, except, you know, not counting boss zombies. Normal zombies basically won't be able to kill you while you're in that circle. Now, the boss zombies, of course, Blightfathers and all the heavy zombies and stuff like on 9, will probably be able to still kill you, but also when you plant it down at first, it kills a bunch of zombies. You know, I think if this weapon, I think at level 3 this weapon's pretty good. The only problem is at about round 40, the scepter really, it's not like it's useless because it's a special weapon, it's still good. Otherwise, if it was terribly bad, then they would have obviously buffed it already, but it hasn't gotten buffed, and the normal laser attack on the Scepter of Rah really is underwhelming, and it doesn't do as much damage as you would like it to. But you know what, I think also when you place it down, that defensive circle does revive teammates that are in the circle, so that's kind of cool. This is basically a co-op weapon. I never use it in solo, I never touch it at all, but I think it definitely deserves, at least on my list, the number 8 spot here in this video. Coming in at number 7 on my list, we are switching over to the Ether Story weapons here, guys, and this is the worst Ether Story weapon, in my opinion. This is the Overkill. Now, this is a lot of people's, like, top 5 favorite special weapons in the game. I really don't see why I don't like using this thing. It is by far the worst special weapon for going across the catwalk on blood. It is really not good for camping like you'd think it is. It's basically a death machine at level 1, just a really nerfed down death machine from BO3. I don't see why they couldn't just make it the BO3 death machine, just port that thing over. The level 2 ability basically allows it to have an undermounted kind of grenade launcher, which the grenade launcher does kind of save the weapon. That's pretty much the only good thing about the weapon in high rounds, and I bet you at about round 60 or something it still probably makes crawlers on normal. And then the level 3 ability is really like one of the worst level 3 abilities in the game, which is called Tactical Nuke, and you basically just sacrifice the weapon, you throw the weapon down, and it basically just gives you a nuke power up. The problem with that though is it gives you 0 XP, and I don't know if it gives you points. Well, actually, I'll see in a second second here in this clip right here, actually, I kind of throw it down with the Tactical Nuke level 3 ability, and yeah, I think it gives you points. I hope it gives you points, but it doesn't give you any XP, just like with the normal Nuke power-up, which, obviously, you're not really going to be using the Tactical Nuke either. Like, why not just throw the weapon down, man? Let me see if you get points. No way, I don't think you... No, you only get 400 points, so it's basically like you create your own sort of mini nuke, but you can just, you know, call in a nuke with an elixir or something. I don't know, I feel like they could have done like a lot cooler things with a death machine, and honestly, I wish the death machine wasn't even a special weapon. I wish it was just a power-up by itself, because I think it'd be a lot better than this thing, but the damage on the normal minigun is really, really low on this thing. It's higher than the Scepter, but it's still low on high rounds, so I think the Overkill is the second worst special weapon here in BO4 Zombies, and the worst special weapon in the Ether story, at least. Coming in at number 6, guys, and I'm sorry I don't, for some reason, have gameplay for the level 1 ability of this, but this is the Hellfire. This is Nikolai's flamethrower, the second special weapon on this list for the Ether story, at least. And this one, I think a lot of people would say that this is the worst special weapon in the Ether story, but I'm, of course, different. I think that the Overkill is worse, I guess. Now, the flamethrower is definitely not that good. I think the level 1 ability is a little bit better than Overkill's, and I think the level 2 ability of Overkill is a lot better than the Blast Vent, which is a level 2 kind of like mini Thunder Gun ability for the Hellfire. And the level 3 ability for the Hellfire is just a lot better than the Tactical Nuke. It's basically an Infernal Tempest is what it's called, where you just shoot out like this little basically this little tornado, I guess, sort of like the lightning bow kind of shot when you charge the lightning bow. It's sort of like that, but with a fire effect, and it's kind of cool. It burns the zombies. It just, you know, kind of incinerates the zombies. And overall, man, I think the Hellfire is pretty decent for a flamethrower, at least, especially since, you know, when we had the flamethrower. Do any of you guys remember the flamethrower from World at War? That thing that would only get you points, but obviously the points don't work the same way nowadays. So yeah, that's definitely a bit of a rip there. But overall, man, the Hellfire isn't terrible. I mean, the Blast Vent isn't terrible, as you'll see in this gameplay, but it really isn't. It really isn't that great either. But anyways, that is it for my number 6 spot, guys. Let's move on to number 5. We're going in the top 5 here. This shit's where it's gonna be really, really interesting. Starting the top 5 portion of this video off, we have the Chakrams of Vengeance here in the Chaos story, and this is the second Chaos story, a special weapon here, and this one I feel like is really, really loved by the community. It's very, very fun. It's one of the most fun special weapons in the game to use. I think the Chaos special weapons are more fun, just overall, than the Ether. I don't know, because they just add more, you know, space, because obviously with the Ether, we've seen them all before, in one way or another, but with the Chakrams here, basically you have two dual wield. You have your right weapon here, which is basically just a close range melee attack, which is always going to be a one-hit kill to basic zombies. Then you have in your left hand, you have the other chakram, which is the throwable one, which is really, really fun. That's basically the one that you see me using a ton, where you just throw it, hurl it at zombies. It you know, just goes through all the zombies, connects with all of them, just slices them all. It is super, super fun to watch. Really, I think this weapon is probably the worst in the entire Chaos story for killing bosses. I mean, just trying to kill a werewolf or a Blightfather with this thing, with the chakrams, is really, really annoying. Then again, when you use the melee on it, that's really the only time that you use the melee. Like, you throw the chakrams at zombies, but against bosses, you always want to melee up close, because you can get more hits off, and it's just way more effective. The level 3 ability is super, super fun, Lacerating Whirlwind, where you just run through zombies. The level 2 ability just makes you run faster, which is awesome, and you run a lot faster, but very, very fun to use the Chakrams of Vengeance. They come in at number 5. Coming in at the number 4 spot, guys, this is the Viper and Dragon. I really like using these things. These are another just example of really fun special weapons in the Chaos story. I mean, basically it's another dual wield weapon, but I think it's more effective overall than the Chakrams. Chakrams, people just put those higher than the Viper and Dragon just because they think it's the throwable Chakrams more fun than the Viper and Dragon. But the Viper and Dragon, you have this melee attack on the right side there in your right hand. Then in your left hand you have this really powerful hand cannon, which at the level 2 ability it shoots explosive shots, the hand cannon does, and it shoots faster. And the Viper, which is the sword, basically the Dragon is the gun, and the Viper is the sword. So the sword is really effective against bosses, against like the werewolf. The hand cannon, the Dragon, I guess, is really effective against zombies. And the level 3 ability is like this. You use the Viper to create like this monkey bomb effect where you just infect one of the zombies. I don't know what the upgrade's called, I guess, but you see it in the gameplay right there. It's really cool looking, and it creates that nice little monkey bomb explosion after. It's not as effective as like a homunculus or a monkey bomb, but it is really fun to use. It really is cool to watch. I don't know, but the Viper and Dragon are really effective, and I definitely like to choose these. This and the Hammer are probably the ones that I go for the most in the Chaos story, and you could probably guess we only have one more Chaos story weapon here, guys, but left. But tell me in the comments before you watch the rest of this video where you guys think the Hammer of Valhalla is going to place compared to the Ragnarok and the Path of Sorrows, which are the last 2 special weapons that we have, and they're in the Ether story. So without further ado, let's hop into the top 3, the most important 3 on the list, guys. Coming in at the number 3 spot, guys, here on today's list, this is the Ragnarok Dg5. I didn't get the name wrong. These are actually called the Dg5s in this game, not the Dg4s, I guess. Richtofen got it perfected, the Rags finally. But the Rags, since they were introduced first on Ragnarok and brought back into Revelations in the box, these things have always been so much fun to use. I think this is the most fun special weapon in the Ether story to use, and they're really good. So, just like the Scepter of Rah, this can actually revive players once you get the level 3 ability, which is the Power Plant. The level 1 ability basically is just like the Shock Slam thing. It's just like you go around and basically just slam down on zombies. It's not as effective, I don't think, as they were in BO3, but they are still basically, they're still the Rags that you know and love. And the level 2 ability is new. We did not see it in BO3. It's called Electrocute, and basically you kind of you slam the 2 Rags together and then create like this electric little explosion, which is kind of effective. I guess I've heard that it's really good at killing Brutus. I don't know how true that actually is, but it's pretty fun to use. And then for the level 3 ability, guys, which is awesome in both BO3 and here in BO4, you have the Power Plant, which basically just allows you to plant the Rags down and create like this field where zombies cannot pass through it at all. Brutus, I think, can still pass through it, but obviously on Classified you don't have to worry about bosses, so you just sit yourself in a corner, or maybe up the elevator, or down by that perk where you see me camping in this gameplay, and it's really fun. It's still just as good as they were in BO3, but in BO3 the difference was you didn't have these other 2 special weapons, which of course, you guessed them, they're at the number 2 and 1 spot. But can you guess what is at number 2 and what is at number 1? And at the number 2 spot, guys, the best special weapon in the Chaos story, this is the only one left, the Hammer of Valhalla. This is definitely the best weapon in the Chaos story, and it is the second best in the entire game, in my opinion, guys. So basically, it's this electric hammer. It's sort of like Zeus's hammer, or sort of like Thor's hammer, basically. And you basically just, at the level 1 ability, you just run around, smacking zombies with it. It is super effective, and that's probably the ability that I use the most on this weapon. The level 2 ability is called, I think, you know what, I'm not even gonna guess the name. I think, wait, it might be called a Hammer Bolt or something. I don't know what exactly it's called, but basically you slam the hammer down and it basically creates this electric sort of like lightning effect, and basically just kills the zombies. You basically just slam the weapon down. I might be able to see, yeah, Hammer Storm right here. So this is just some gameplay of it just to clear it up there, guys. Honestly, I'm not too big of a fan of the level 2 ability. I don't think it's really that useful. Yeah, you know, it looks useful, but it's really not that good. A lot of the level 2 abilities aren't really that good in this game, I feel. The level 3 ability, though, for this weapon, just like most of them, is phenomenal. It is the hammer bolt right there, which basically just allows you to shoot this lightning out of the hammer, which just arcs to nearby zombies. It is basically like an infinite damage weapon, and unlike the Scepter, and yeah, it just basically works like a Wonder Waff, just really cool, since you're literally walking around with a hammer, and you've got, it's more effective than the Wonder Waff because you have those other abilities as well. The Hammer of Valhalla is a very fun weapon to use, and it is by far my most used special weapon in Chaos, and I really hope they add combat records so we can actually see how all the special weapons rank, because I guarantee you, just like they're on this list, I guarantee you they'd be in the same order that this list is in, or the order that the list is in. But without further ado, guys, it is of course time for the #1 spot. You all know it. It is the last special weapon we have. The Path of Sorrows, guys. This is Takio's katana. This is for sure. Everyone always knows that this is the special weapon that you want to be using in the Ether story, at least. And it is just, there's no denying it. It is the best special weapon in the entire game. And it'd be kind of cool if they added some more as well. I kind of want to make a video maybe on, like, ideas that I have for special weapons, but obviously the level 1 ability is the Kaze Slash. It is basically you just go around and slice up the zombies with the melee attack. It is the best special weapon for going across the catwalk on blood. The level 2 ability is awesome. It is the Merciless Dash, and you dash forward. You can just, mowing down the zombies, man. You mow down hordes, you just slide through Brutus. You can literally just kill Brutus in a couple, dashes, I guess, with it. It is it's really effective, guys. But yeah, so anyways though, and then the level 3 ability is called Shadow of Death, I believe, and it basically allows you to go completely invisible to all zombies. They will just want to run away from you for about 20 seconds, the duration of the Path of Sorrows, and you can revive teammates while you're doing that. You can go, you can just get out of there just to do a quick escape. It's very fun, as you see some gameplay of it right there. But anyways though, guys, the Path of Sorrows, it comes in here at the #1 spot on my list here in today's video, guys. So there you have it. That was my video on ranking all special weapons here in Black Ops 4 Zombies. Leave your list in the comments and tell me what you think of what you thought of mine. And if you disagree with it, definitely tell me in the comments. Yeah, definitely if you're gonna disagree though, leave your own list. That way you don't look like an idiot down there in the comments saying your list was garbage, but you're not even gonna tell me your own list. But anyways though, guys, thank you for watching. In my opinion, this was a pretty good ranking, although they're all great in their own way. So yeah, so it was pretty hard in that aspect. But anyways, very long video, sorry about that. Anyways, I will see you all in the next one, guys. Have a good one. Peace.